The Division I Women's Basketball Committee announces selection enhancements. What am I talking about exactly? I apologize for looking it up because I cannot memorize all this stuff. And I'll put all this in the description below, and y'all can check out the individual quotes as well. I just want to go over what really is going on. And the new committee chair for the 2026-2027 year is Liz Darger from BYU, by the way, just to make that clear. And the article starts here as, at its summer meeting this week in Philadelphia, the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Committee approved championship and selection enhancements review tournament format met with organizers and of the 2026 Women's Final Four and named a future committee chair, which I already mentioned. The meeting also provided an opportunity or updates from ESPN representatives with detailed broadcast coverage plans for the 2025-2026 season and championship selection Sunday, and the announcement of the 68-team championship bracket will take place on March 15th, with the show publicly airing at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. As a new feature, the committee will, with support from ESPN, will publicly announce the top 16 seeds for the 2026 championship on the previous day, March 14th, which is a Saturday. This will allow additional time for those top 16 seeded hosts and tournament operations to start preparations for the championship. On the early top 16 reveal, the top 16 schools will be provided in alphabetical order. Exact time for the early reveal, March 14th, with ESPN, is still to be determined. The final bracket in true seed order 1 through 68 for the entire field will be publicly provided on the selection Sunday. The committee started its discussions around other championship format matters, including the current first four, first and second rounds, and the regionals. The committee's comprehensive preliminary format review will continue through its October meeting in 2026. The first four and first and second round games are scheduled to be hosted by the top 16 seeds on March 18th through 23rd, while regional play will take place March 27th through 30th at two regional host sites, with 8 teams competing at each site in Fort Worth, Texas, and Sacramento, California. The committee affirmed that the 2026 championship will feature an automatic qualifier from each of the 31 conferences to go along with 37 at-large teams as determined by the committee. While possible future bracket expansion was discussed by the committee, no recommendation was provided coming out of the meeting. The committee also voted to add the wins above bubble, as in WAB, an evaluation metric to the championship selection criteria / priorities, noting that WAB will provide a resume-based metric that shows how many more or fewer wins a team has against its schedule, what a bubble team would expect to have against the same schedule. The WAB metric, also currently referenced by the Division I Men's Basketball Committee, uses net as the basis for opponent strength, with the reference, quote, bubble team being defined as a team ranked 45th in the net. Based on a study of recent women's basketball seasons, the daily WAB metric will be added to the respective team sheets referenced by the committee that will be made publicly each day beginning December 1. Okay, there's a few quotes. I'm skipping over those. At its meeting, the committee also discussed tournament operations, ticket pricing, future site selection timeline and process, officiating program, and possible player availability reporting. Committee members also heard from the Phoenix local organizing committee, which provided an update on its planning efforts for the 2026 Women's Final Four to be held April 3rd and 5th at Phoenix Arena. And all this, and Darger, by the way, that's going to be the new chair is the senior associate athletics director and senior woman administrator at BYU, by the way, on her title. So, and she does have 16 or more than 16 years of experience in intercollegiate athletics. Spent time as a assistant women's basketball coach at Utah Valley from 2009 to 2015. She earned a bachelor's degree in 2000, master's in 2004, and a doctorate in 2023, all from BYU. So, and there's a quote from her as well. So that's just that. And by the way, the Final Four, the 2025-2026 committee will be chaired by Braun, while she will be joined by Vicky Chun of Yale, Liz Dodger from BYU, Amy Fullen of Central Michigan, Josh Heird, HEIRD of Louisville, Jeff Kanya of San Jose State, George Mason's Marvin Lewis, Jill Redmond of the Ohio Valley Conference, Ashley Simmons of Western Carolina, of Vanderbilt, a person from Vanderbilt, which would be Candace Story, and Lynn Tighe, Tighe, apologize if I butchered that, from Villanova. And one committee position from the Big Ten is still to be determined in all this. So I know that's a lot of information to go over, but I just want to give an update on this, and it does make sense on the selection enhancements, in my opinion. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens for this upcoming year, of course, and who's those top 16 and all that. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers. Course ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So my money this course like video. Comment video really helps YouTube algorithm. Some more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well. Some more people could watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button for the notification bell as well.